Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu nasta'inuhu nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu wa nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في الكلام المجيد والفرقان الحميد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا وقال يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم وقال يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون وقال يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Alhamdulillah. We are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has reached towards the holy month of Ramadan. He has given life to witness the holy month of Ramadan. There have been so many people who were present last year. They are no longer here. And we are blessed to take the blessing of and barakah of Rahmah is the holy month of Ramadan. This month is Ramadan is very important because its name is mentioned in Al-Quran Al-Kareem. The only month whose name is mentioned in Al-Quran Al-Kareem. And this month has got so many benefits. It has got the Quran has been revealed in this month. It's honored this month by revelation of the Quran. Laylatul Qadr is in this month. Salatul Taraweeh is in this month. And the benefit of this month is that if you perform a nafil salah in this month, it is equal to the reward of a first salah which you performed in the 11 months before. And if you perform a first salah, the reward is increased to minimum 70%. It will be 70, 700, 7,000, we don't know. Bighayri hisab. This month is blessed and we have to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given us a chance to witness this month. We have to practice the things in this month so that we can continue these practices for the next 11 months. There's no point in just doing everything in this month and as soon as the month of Ramadan goes, okay, we have nothing to do with all these things. No. This is the month of practice and this practice has to be continued for the next 11 months. Imam Ghazali in Ihya ul-Ulum mentioned about this month and he said that according to this month of Ramadan, people are divided into three groups. One is Awam, the second one is Khawas, and the third one is Aqsul Khawas. The Awam is the one whose the month of Ramadan and the fasting is only of the mouth and the stomach. They refrain from drinking and eating during the daytime. The Khawas is the one whose month of Ramadan is not fasting of the stomach, but the month of Ramadan is you are looking at your eyes, your ears, your tongue, hands and feet. The fasting is of all these things apart from the stomach. And the Aqsul Khawas is the one whose fast is not only stomach, but the hands and feet and the tongue and the ears and the eyes, but also of the heart. They don't let even thoughts coming while they are fasting. While we are fasting, if we don't look after our tongue, what we are saying, if you're fasting and lying, if you are fasting and backbiting, if you are using your tongue to upset somebody, to dishonor somebody, to hurt somebody with your tongue while you are fasting, what is that fast? So we have to refrain from our tongue and also ears. Make sure that during the fast you are not going to listen to all sorts of rubbish and this and that and that. And also your eyes. How control you have got what you are looking. We are fasting and you are looking at so many things which are not allowed to be. The thing about the tongue, I said, that during the fast, the halal things have made haram. The fast means drink and food, which is halal all the time, that is made haram during the fast. And how can you let the haram things which are already haram in all the months and halal during the fasting, when you are using your tongue, lying, saying something about them, other people, upsetting people, backbiting? Is it allowed? You don't think, oh, I'm fasting, but I'm using my tongue, sitting with the people and doing things. One thing to remember is the fast, don't make it is a feast. Because as soon as you open the fast and you are having so much food, the whole idea of fast is going on. I just want to mention something about the medical aspect also. I'm a doctor, and also there are so many doctors here. 100 years, 200 years, there were no antibiotics. How people survived when they had the infection? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the best pharmaceutical industry in our body. Our blood cells have red blood cells and white blood cells. White blood cells have got leukocytes. The function of leukocyte is to look after our body, its health. They are like security officers and soldiers in our blood. Any infection comes, they look at this one and prepare and damage that infection. And they look after when we are not having too much food. The security officers are running after to making sure. And what happens is, if any infection comes, they produce a substance called antibodies. You know, when you are traveling, you get the vaccination. The vaccination is actually the very small quantity of the germs given into your body, so that your body sees that these are the germs we are going to attack. So they prepared defensive mechanism that is called antibodies. So when you are fasting, your leukocytes are ready to fight any infection. But if you eat too much, then they get fed up and then they say, okay, let us relax, not to fight. So when you are fasting, the white blood cells are very, very close to any infection coming and damaging. You know, in 2016, the Nobel Prize was given to a Japanese professor, Yoshi Hin. If you go in online and check it, 216 Nobel Prize. He did research for 10 years, asking people to fast, and he took the blood test and tested them. And he said the people who were fasting for longer time, their blood cells, leukocytes were so strong, they destroyed any infection coming. And one important thing he noticed, that people who were suffering from cancer, their cancer cells were attacked and killed by the leukocytes. Subhanallah. So we have to remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this holy month. It has got medical benefits, body benefits, but most important is spiritual benefits. So we have to look into that all the time. One thing I want to mention, as we might have heard this hadith so many times, but it's time for me to repeat it again. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in the mosque. He came along and he saw the Sahaba sitting around, and he asked them, come close to the mimbar. And they all gathered, and then he started putting his feet on the 3 steps of the mimbar, and he put his first foot, and then he said, Ameen. The second, and Ameen. And the third, Ameen. And he did the sermon and finished it. And the Sahaba were still sitting, and he saw something on their faces, something which they want to ask. And he said, I can see on your face something, and do you want to ask something? They said, yes, this very strange thing happened. You usually make a dua, and then at the end you say Ameen, and we also say Ameen. But we saw you didn't make any dua, and you said Ameen and Ameen and Ameen 3 times. So we were thinking, what is the purpose of this Ameen? He said, Jibreel Islam came to me while I put my first foot, he made a bad dua. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, woe to that person. And I said, Ameen. Second time, he said, woe to that person, and I say, Ameen. And the third time, woe to that person destroyed. And I said, Ameen. The Sahaba were very confused, perplexed, shivered. And they were saying, oh Rasulullah, please tell them, who are these unfortunate persons? Even Jibreel salam making a bad dua or asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he would have accepted straight away. But he has made this thing and you have sealed with your Ameen. That person is completely destroyed. Please tell who are these unfortunate people? And he explained, the first one is the one who witnesses the month of Ramadan and let it go, and he is not forgiven by the benefits of this month. The month of Ramadan comes, and there might be so many people who are involved in the business activities and so and so. They don't even pray the 5 times prayers, they don't even fast, and they don't even care about what is happening. So this is about those people. So the month of Ramadan comes, and they witnesses the month, and they let it pass, and they are not forgiven on this month. And then he said the second one is the one, the Jibreel Islam said that your name is mentioned in front of the people who have got Iman, and they don't send salutation and durood on you. So it is very important for us to remember, as soon as you hear the name of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, do the Allahumma salli ala Hud, or at least Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is very important. The third one is the one who finds his parents, both of them or one of them, in their old age, and that person does not look after, serve them, make them happy. Because of their du'as or because of their happiness, this person is blessed, and they pray for this person to enter the Jannah. So if you behave badly with your old parents, upset them, cause them trouble, so that they make but dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this son or this daughter, they have treated me like a dusting, something to be thrown off. They don't even care for me. They don't even look up to me. And the way they talk to me, this is very, very important. Because if you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Asra, He says, La ta'budu illallah wa bil walidaini ihsana. With his position, so high position of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, immediate after his position, he says, wa bil walidaini ihsana. So we have to not only look after the parents at that old age, but also if they have passed away, say, Rabbana zalamna anfusana, and make dua that Rabbana habna lana min azwajina rabbil hamuma kama rabbayani saghira. That is the dua we have to make all the time to make. So I'll finish it with asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our sins, and also make this holy month of Ramadan the best Ramadan for us, to gain the highest reward from this month, and to be blessed from this month, and to make this Ramadan opening the door of the Jannah for us, and inshallah to gather us all in Jannatul Firdaus, inshallah ta'ala. Ameen Rabbil Alamin. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika, nashhadu la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في الكلام المجيد والفرقان الحميد. فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين. अल्लाहुम्मा अइज़्ज़िल इस्लाम वल मुस्लिमीन, अल्लाहुम्मा अइज़्ज़िल इस्लाम वल मुस्लिमीन, अल्लाहुम्मा अइज़्ज़िल इस्लाम वल मुस्लिमीन, अल्लाहुम्मा अंसुरना उम्मत मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम। औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम, बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। इन्नल्लाहा यअमुरु बिल अदलि वल इहसान व ईताइ ज़िल क़ुर्बा व यनहा अनिल फ़हशाइ वल मुनकरि वल बग़yi यअज़िकुम लअल्लकुम तज़क्करून वज़्कुरुल्लाहा यज़्कुरुकुम वदऊहु यस्तजीब लकुम व लज़िक्रुल्लाहि तआला आला व अज़्ज़ु व अजल्लु व अतम्मु व अकमलु। अक़ीमुस्सलाह।